What's your favorite video you've ever made about Islam?
I don't know. I have a couple, but there's the sort of pattern. My favorite videos I make about Islam are where I'm bringing up some information that I know is not going to be familiar to the vast majority of my viewers,
Okay.
especially the Muslims.
Yeah.
And I know that it's devastating,
Right.
and I'm presenting it in a way that is pretty cool, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that would be something like Muhammad, the white prophet with black slaves.
Right, right,
I know
yeah.
the vast majority of people have never heard any of this before.
Right.
I know people are going to be shocked with this.
Yeah.
And I'm presenting it in a way where, hey, this guy, what did I say? I said, this
Yeah.
guy makes the Brady Bunch look like NWA, stuff
right.
like that, right? It was
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
those sort of silly lines in there. So that's the sort of pattern. So similar to that would be who killed Muhammad?
Right, right.
When, every Muslim you meet thinks that Muhammad got sick when he got old and died.
Oh, okay. Right.
They
right.
don't know. They just don't
just
know
not know.
that he was poisoned by a Jewish woman that left him in agony for 3 years
Yeah.
until he finally died.
Yeah,
right? They
yeah,
don't know that.
Yeah, yeah.
And so presenting that kind of information, but in a sort of simultaneously humorous and sarcastic and aggressive way.
Yeah, yeah.
Those are the kinds of, so it'd be like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Muhammad the white prophet with black slaves, who killed Muhammad, anything like that. Like I forget what it's called, but Sheepgate. The Sheepgate conspiracy.
yeah.
It wasn't as popular as some of the other, but the Sheepgate conspiracy, where Muhammad's wives, clearly, according to Muslim sources, conspired to get rid of passages of the Quran that they didn't like, and blame it on a sheep that ate them. So
Right.
things like that, where it's information I know that Muslims don't have. Their leaders have concealed it from them,
Yeah.
and I get to be the one who brings it to them.
Right, right.
And I bring it to them in a way that they can't help but watch it.
That's good. And we didn't have time to really cover this, and I know you've talked about it elsewhere, but I guess if you could kind of give a brief idea of why is it you take the approach you do? Because I know, because we've talked about this and all too, but for others that aren't aware of why you take the approach you do instead of, being like super nice.
Yeah. Well, and it depends on the situation, right?
Right.
If I'm saying this because I do get messages occasionally, right?
Right.
And it'll be like, David, I just met this Muslim in my class, and I'm following your example. I'm being I'm just blasting him. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I don't say that, right? If you're talking to a Muslim one-on-one, you want to keep a discussion going. That is one.
Right.
If you're on YouTube,
Right.
and you're trying to do certain things, because I'm not just trying to reach Muslims with information, right? I'm not just trying to do that. There are other issues involved, like there are Muslims who say they'll kill you for doing certain things. I believe you have to do those things.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not just for the good of you and other people and civilization, for the good of the Muslims as well.
Yep.
Right. I mean, think about it. You Muslims who are watching, when people kill over cartoons, that doesn't just make them look bad. That makes Islam look bad.
Right.
Now, Islam should look bad for that because that's part of Islam. That's part of Islam. But nevertheless, it would be better for you, for your community, if those people stopped killing over cartoons, right? Because that keeps people from being hostile towards you, right? In other words, people get more afraid of you as a Muslim because this other Muslim that you don't agree with and you don't even like went and killed someone over a cartoon, right?
Yeah.
So how do you stop someone from killing over cartoons? The only way you stop someone from killing over cartoons is make so many cartoons that they realize, hey, we can't kill everyone over this, right? And guess what? Then the killing over cartoons stops. So I believe that we're in a clashing situation, right? Where lots of Muslims, and we have to understand this, right?
Yeah.
Lots of Muslims have been sheltered from lots of things
Yeah.
for 14 centuries.
Yeah.
And all this time we got to a very recent period where now things that they were not exposed to for centuries, they're suddenly exposed to.
Yeah.
And for centuries, if someone did this in your Muslim community, you kill them over it. That's just the way it is.
Right.
And now we're in the situation where a bunch of people are doing the things that historically you'd be killed for.
Right.
And some of the Muslims are still, we have to kill them over that, right?
Right. Right.
And my position is you have to get past that. Because I believe in like a crash course of here's everything you say I can't say about your prophet, I'm going to say it.
Right.
And I'm not, I don't just, say mean things about Muhammad or curse Muhammad. I believe in just giving Muslim stuff from their sources that has been concealed from them.
Right.
And I don't, I haven't drawn Muhammad. I eventually will after a cartoon. A cartoon killing or something like that. I'll do that.
Right.
But it's not, hey, I just want to be mean here.
Yeah.
It's, I believe someone has to do this.
Yeah.
And it might as well be me.
Yeah,
It might
yeah.
as well be me because
Yeah.
I understand all these other people don't want to do it. They don't want to get killed. I don't want to get killed either, but I'm not scared of it. So if anyone's going to do it, it's got to be people like me.
Yeah.
And notice the goal there is not, I'm making fun of your prophet.
Right.
It's, you need to get past this. Your community has to get past this. Lots of people in your community have gotten past this. Some haven't.
Yeah.
But once they get past that, notice that's better for your entire community. It's better for the entire world.
Yeah.
So for the advancement of humanity and the advancement of Muslim and non-Muslim relations, we have to get past certain things. And you don't get past that by avoiding the things that they say they'll kill you over, right?
Yeah,
because
right.
even peaceful Muslims will say,
Yeah.
"Oh, you shouldn't draw cartoons because then you're going to upset these guys."
Right.
Well, if they say they're going to kill us over it,
Yeah.
and we say, "Okay, well, we won't do it," that just sent a message to them.
Yeah.
That just sent a message. If you want to get your way, be violent. Be as
Yeah.
violent as possible. So that would be encouraging them to be more violent, right?
Right.
So anyway, the point here was, I'm doing multiple things on my channel, right?
You're right.
It's not just, because people, hey, if you're just trying to reach Muslims, you should do this. Well, I'm not just trying to reach Muslims.
Right.
I'm trying to do multiple things.
Right.
Reaching Muslims is one of the things I'm doing.
Right.
But even going along with that, I just found from experience over time that not all Muslims. Muslims are diverse people. There are some Muslims that if you want to have a conversation, the best approach is to show that you really love God and are interested in topics about God, and the Muslim will respect that. And you point out to the Muslim, hey, you believe in Islam, I believe in Christianity. There are three possibilities: either you're right and I'm wrong, or I'm right and you're wrong, or we're both wrong, right? And if one of us is right, then we may be in this situation from the Almighty Himself.
Yeah.
And if we're in this situation from the Almighty Himself, we should take this seriously, and we should study our sources and get to the bottom of this, right?
Yeah.
That's how I would approach it if I'm with a one-on-one Muslim, right?
Yeah.
Internet's a kind of different story, right? And there are Muslims who they will respect you more if you just tell them, no, Muhammad's a false prophet, here's my reasons. They might get mad at you, but they respect you more, right?
Yeah.
Like Jay Smith. Jay Smith for years has been on the ladder at Speaker's Corner yelling, just yelling and yelling and yelling and yelling and yelling and yelling. You know what they tell him afterwards? They say, Jay, we disagree with everything, but we respect you. And notice, they know he takes it seriously.
Right,
Because he's
exactly.
putting himself on the line when he goes out there. They know he takes it seriously. Guess what? What we're doing,
Yep.
when Muslims are watching, they're going to say, oh, I really can't stand what these guys are. I can't stand it, but
It makes them watch. Then they get the information
they
too,
know
right?
we take it seriously, right?
Exactly,
They know, and Western Christians need to understand that in the Christian church, for many people, niceness is the key virtue, right?
Yeah.
And we think that because our first criterion is being nice,
Right.
we think that everyone else is like that.
Right.
Many Muslims out there, when they see you presenting a message, they're not, oh, the nicer he is, the more probably he's right.
Right.
They're looking for how fearless you are, how passionate you are for it.
Yeah.
Are you ready to die for it?
Yep.
Those are the things they're looking for.
Yeah.
And once they see that, then they're saying, oh, he must know something. There's something that gives him this confidence. What is it?
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah.
And so, like it or not, the other thing that it does, when they see me just blasting away at Muhammad and doing all the things that they say they'll kill me for.
Right.
They're sitting there watching it going, this guy must really believe what
Yeah.
he's saying here, because he knows people are sending him messages telling him they're going to chop his head off for
Yeah.
it and kill his family.
Yeah.
They're sending him those messages.
Yeah.
And he's still saying it anyway,
Yeah.
which means he's ready to die for it.
Yeah.
And they're more inclined to listen to that than they are. And again, not every Muslim. Don't run out and say, hey,
Right.
Muslim, I'm ready. I'm going to jump off this building to show you how ready I am to die. I'm not talking about that situation. I'm talking about there are Muslims for whom this approach opens them up more.
Right.
And yes, there are Muslims who are otherwise, who will just, would prefer a calm presentation of your beliefs and a calm discussion and so on. But guess what? There are already lots of Christians who can do that.
Yeah,
There are lots
yeah.
of Christians who can do that.
Yeah.
So,
No, and I think that's good. And I'm a person that's all about end goals. So I even have like end goals with my channel and all. So I like that you said like your end goal is not to make fun of them. You have different end goals. And so that's what I think everybody needs to realize. Like everybody shouldn't be like, okay, let's go be mean to Muslims or go make fun of them or anything like that. You know what I mean? That's not the purpose, So
no, never.
cool.
That's never the purpose.